This episode of Nerds on Coffee is brought to you by the Broglie Box. It is an all-inclusive quarterly subscription box designed to promote optimal mental health and overall wellness. Each beautifully designed box includes full-size curated gift items such as essential oils, stress and anxiety combating tools, coloring therapy books, candles, aromatherapy, journals, calendars, self-help guides, and more. Broglie Box products are sourced from well-known health and wellness brands, as well as small, independent crafters and artisans. Each box also includes a quarterly issue of Peace of Mind magazine, featuring timely and useful articles, guides, and visual tools from a variety of published psychologists, psychiatrists, and mental health bloggers. Broglie Box is an all-encompassing resource kit for those who need support or want to help someone else. Right now, we're partnering with them and we're offering a promo code. So if you go to brogliebox.com and enter NERDS10, that'll get you 10% off your first box. And hopefully that will inspire you to want to continue the subscription, keep it going, give a box as a gift. Again, that's brogliebox.com. That's BROGLIEBOX.com. And enter in NERDS10, NERDS10. And I'll get you 10% off your first box. Continue to dive in, learn about the company, learn about the box, and find out how you can use it for yourself or for someone else. And stick with us.
It's coffee. It's comics. It's music.
It's Nerds on Coffee.
And just like that, I'm recording.
Oh my god. You are in Japan?
Yes.
I'm in Ibiza.
Yeah.
And we are recording a podcast. That's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty dope. I had the thing so we're using Zencaster, obviously, for people who are listening. We are not affiliated with them in any way. I'm just a fan of their site. They are a really great website for podcasting if you have to do it remotely. Anyway, so I left my laptop open to the session on the site, and it was connected to the internet and everything, and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna go grab some lunch.
No way.
I'm gonna grab some lunch. Matt is getting ready. I'm gonna come back. It'll be ready to go. I came back and it kicked me off the internet. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I gotta go select to look for the network. The hotel network does not exist anymore. Just isn't there. So I just had to hotspot from my phone.
Because it doesn't like you.
Probably. It's probably like this foreign devil leeching off of our data enough. No, so thankfully I have the AT&T International Pass, and the data here is really good. So I just made a hotspot real quick on my phone, and my laptop is just going through the hotspot. So,
oh, you like living life dangerously, don't you?
It's the only way I can right now. So what I meant to say was it's the only way I know how.
Is my voice coming out better on your side? Do you see a difference because I'm using the mic now?
Yeah, you basically just can't hear any of the room noise, and it just sounds very present, and at least from my end so far, it sounds totally fine. So I, on the other hand, left my stuff, and so I'm having to use the computer mic now, which is fine because I mixed yours for the last episode, and it turned out fine. It's not ideal, but it wasn't a problem, and so I'm having to do that this episode now. I just need to get one of those little mics that you got, so that I don't have to bring my interface and everything, and a stand out. I can just bring the little. I just need to order one of those because yours is so far seems to be solid. So
yeah, it's great for podcasting and for traveling.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Definitely. So I don't know what you wanted to talk about. I have several really funny stories to tell about my experience in Japan so far, but we can get to them at any time. Yeah, we can get to them at any time.
I wanted to ask you, wait, so the last episode's mixed and ready to go?
It's already up in Dropbox.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's already up from when we were when you were still in Europe and I was in Colorado.
Oh, sick. Yeah, what's it called? I'm running right now on 2.5 hours of nap.
Yeah.
Not even of sleep.
Just a nap.
Yeah, and then I go to, and then I leave for Sweden in 2 hours.
Nice.
And then I have a show tonight in in Hallsberg, Sweden, and I got a bunch of fire and a bunch of pyro.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. The only thing keeping me awake right now is knowing that I'm going to be able to blow up the stage later.
That's amazing. I think that's a pretty good motivator.
But so there's a place here in Ibiza called Atlantis, and we didn't know much more than that. And everyone here speaks Spanish, and nobody here really speaks English. So we get in a cab, and they tell us Atlantis's beach is the best. We get over to Atlantis. They drop us off, and it's a hike and not a beach.
Oh, gotcha.
And we and with the guys, we ended up doing this like 30-minute hike. We got beautiful photos and there's an amazing view,
Sure.
but it wasn't a beach.
You were gearing
Let's
up
put it that
for
way.
not hiking.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we were gearing up for the antithesis of hiking.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I thought that was a humorous activity yesterday, and then I've been running a mile. I've been doing this thing where I'd run a mile and a half, and interspertantly within the mile and a half, I would stop and drop and do 20 to 30 push-ups,
Uh-huh.
and it's like a 20-minute workout, and I do like 150 push-ups, and your heart rate, it just goes fucking killer.
Right.
So doing that in Ibiza in the humidity, I realized how much I love LA.
Right? Dude, I experienced the same thing in Colorado working out and at like almost 10,000 feet above sea level, and that altitude as someone who has asthma, and just like, dude, I tried running, did not work. It did. My body just shut off. It just wouldn't do it.
Didn't work?
No.
That's funny.
Absolutely not. I quit. I got like 0.3 of a mile in and was like, I'm biking and then doing weights and I'm taking a shower and collapsing. Like, it didn't work. I couldn't live at that altitude for that reason. It was also just really hard for me to breathe the whole time I was there too, because like I just have really weak lungs.
I get that. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely harder to breathe there, like for sure.
Yeah. So it's cool though. I love the mountains.
Did you see Far From Home yet?
Oh no, not yet. I'll see it whenever I get back to the States. I'm flying back on Sunday, so
you better fucking see it. You disgrace me.
Is it good?
It's incredible.
All right.
And the end credit scenes are the funniest shits I've ever seen in my life. They're the best end credit scenes.
Oh, that's amazing.
The best end credit scenes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, period.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no,
I'm a fan.
It's just, they just like really are over the top funny.
I can't wait to see it.
So, what are these stories from Japan that you just can't wait to tell everyone?
So, oh gosh, I don't know where to start. Yeah, so I'll tell, if I remember more, I'll tell more. I'll try and keep them brief, but two for sure I thought were somewhat funny, and like, okay, so I guess we'll just go in chronological order. Yeah, just go in order. So I'm eating lunch yesterday, and I pull up this spot that is like a noodle place, and it was amazing. My mouth was on fire the whole time. I got like spicy noodles and like egg and rice and stuff. It was so good. But so I Yelped it, and I get over there, and I so far at this point in the trip, I hadn't gotten any yen out, hadn't gotten any cash at all. I had an American 20 and then my card. And I just be using my card for everything. It's because that's usually, I mean, we are at a point now to where you can pretty much just use it like 100%. Like anywhere. So, but I'm also like aware of just like, I was like, oh, I should get some cash out because like you need to have like local cash, whatever. So I go in there and I sit down because I see a sign. And a lot of places have like simple English translations. Not everywhere, but a lot of places do. And so like on the sign, I see a little thing that was just like, hey, if we have open space, just come in and sit down. And so I was like, cool. So I just sat down, waited for a few minutes, and no one came over. And I was like, this is odd. So I get up and I go to find someone, and I find someone that works there. And I was like, hey, like, can you help me order or whatever? I'm like trying to be polite. And there's like, she kind of gives me this look like, oh, you're American. Okay, well, and she was nice and like helpful, and she like walked me over to this machine. It's like this touchscreen machine that you order at. You put in cash, and then it's a touch
Oh,
screen, and you just order,
yeah.
and then it spits out your change, and you go sit down, and then they bring it to you. So you never actually really interact with anyone when you're there.
What's the name of this place?
Oh, I don't know, I don't remember. I can look it up. It's like it was
Is it a sushi spot?
no, it's not. It's actually it
Oh,
was a
okay.
chicken place. Like every dish was like revolved around chicken.
Got it.
So
I know a place in Japan called Genki that sounds very similar to this. That's why I was curious.
oh, gotcha. So I basically like realized like, oh, I have to order on this machine. Everything is Japanese. They do not have like a language button on this machine, obviously. And so I was just like, I was like, well, what do I do now? I can leave or make this worse. So I went through door number 2. So I pull out my phone. I open up Google Translate, and I basically type in like, I don't have any yen. I apologize. Can you help me order? Please forgive me, or whatever. Like I was saying, I was trying to be polite and acknowledge that like I should have gotten cash out, but I didn't. Can you just help me order? Like I looked at the menu and I saw like, because there were some English subtitles on the menu, and like I saw what I wanted. I was like, yeah, spicy noodles. So I like had the menu in my hand, and I was like pointing, and I was like, can you just like help me order? And she kind of like, she read my phone on like the translation on my phone, and then she just kind of gave me this look like, are you serious, dude? Like, come on, I am not here for this. Not here for this. And I'm like holding out my 20, like, please help me. And so, oh, by the way, to make this worse, I have my AirPods in on the phone with Amanda the whole time because I was on the phone with her before I got there, and I stayed on the phone with her. I was like, oh, hey, I'm gonna order real quick. Just hang on, babe. And just it just didn't work that way. It wasn't that. It was that she did not hang on, babe, at all. It was she listened to this whole thing play out, and I felt so bad because I was like, I am the asshole in this situation. I'm 1,000% the asshole. So I'm standing there. So she begrudgingly takes my 20. She takes it to the back, and she like holds up her hand. She's like, hold on. She's like, you wait. And I was like, okay. So she goes to the back and is there for several minutes, like probably at least 4 or 5 minutes. And that's like a long time when you're waiting and don't know when someone's going to come back. So she finally comes back. She converted my money, and she brings back
1 million yen.
Like appropriate, basically. She brings back the appropriate. No, she brought back 2,000 yen. That was the exchange. Well, the exchange rate is 1 to 108. So my $20 is like over 2,000 yen.
What's the average cost of something there?
It's like $10. It's like 1,000 yen. So it's not an expensive city. So because Okinawa is kind of like the Hawaii of Japan. It's a small island.
Wait, are you in Okinawa?
South of Japan? Yeah,
bro. That's the island I'm writing that comic book for. Remember, I told you I have a Japanese client. I'm literally writing a comic about the history of Okinawa right now.
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm in Okinawa. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so Okinawa is like several hundred miles south of Japan. It's a small island. It's like the Hawaii of Japan. It's islandy. It's like real. I mean, Japan is an island. Everything is islandy in there because it technically is an island. But it's real. Like it's super laid back here. It's not really densely populated. People are pretty laid back. So anyway, she brings back the money, and I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. And she like puts the money in the machine for me, and then she points at the menu. She's like, what do you want? And like I pointed, she's like, okay. So she like helps me order. So even though she was like seemed like mildly irritated, she was still helpful and like polite. But so all this is taking place, she's got her phone in her hand, and her phone is open to Instagram, and her phone is open to a post that she just made on Instagram, and it's her in the back with my 20 holding it up for the camera. And so, based on her demeanor,
Like,
like,
never sing an American Dollar before?
no, based on her demeanor, that was not the nature of the post. I would like to think that the nature of the post was, oh, this guy brought an American 20 in. How cool is this? Based on how she was acting and treating me, that's not the nature of this post. Based on her nonverbal communication, the nature of the post was this fucking asshole brought American money into my restaurant where we only take cash from our currency, and then Google translated on his phone to ask me to help him order when there's an ATM across the street, and he should have figured all this out, and now I have to take time out of my job to deal with this. So I'm guessing, based on how she was acting, that was the nature of the post. So she left it open. And here's another reason why I think that, because I glanced over and I saw her phone, and she immediately realized that I noticed her phone, and she closed it like super fast. To which I was like,
Stop.
I was like, I obviously can't read Japanese. Like, what are you hiding? Like, I'm like, I don't. So it was just bizarre. So I was the asshole in that situation. I didn't. It definitely did not intend for that situation to play out that way. And as it was unfolding in real time, I was like trying really hard to be like as respectful and like apologetic as possible. And be like, I know, I should have figured this out. I'm so sorry. But like looking back in retrospect, and even then, I was just like, yeah, like I clearly was the asshole in that situation. Like I made her day more difficult for having to do something that she should not have had to do, because I should have just figured it out. Like, this is not her responsibility to help me. Like, it's 2019. I could have used my phone and figured out where I could have just gone in and gotten cash out, gone in, used Google Translate image to like translate the text on the computer and like order for myself. Like, it's not hard. That is not hard to do at all. I chose to not do that and make this situation way more difficult than it had to be. So I sit down and she brings me my food, and it was delicious. I ate every bite, and
She definitely spit on it. How do you like? She definitely spit in it.
maybe, I don't know if that's a thing here, even if they're mad at people. I mean, I'm sure it is. I don't know. It was super good though.
So you enjoy spit?
If it was in there, then apparently.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So
that's amazing though, and throughout this entire encounter, is Amanda still on the phone with you?
yeah, absolutely, she is. So I have like one earpod out and one in, and the whole time she's like, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, and I'm like talking to Amanda in between interacting with this girl too. And I'm just like, it's just weird that they don't take cards. And Amanda was like, people don't take cards in America. You should not be surprised by this. I'm like, damn it, wrong again. Why do I keep being wrong today? Like, it's really funny. So Amanda's like correcting me in my ear, and this girl is like staring at me of like, in like the same way that Amanda's like, you should, Kyle, like, come on, man. And she's looking at me like, dude, come on, man. And so it's just like, I should just start over and go to a different restaurant, apologize. Like, it was really funny though. And she wasn't like rude or anything, but I could tell that she was frustrated because I made her deal with something that she shouldn't have had to deal with. And I was extremely like, not how I would have wanted a customer to be, how I been in that situation. So anyway, it wasn't bad. It ended up fine. I got spicy noodles and it was delicious.
I want some spicy noodles.
Oh man, it was great.
How how's the travel? I mean, the thing that's crazy that Alexis pointed out to me yesterday, or it might have been today, is that from Los Angeles, Europe and Japan are the same distance.
Yeah, it's about a 10-hour flight ish.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's weird. Because to go to Europe, you have to fly the length of our entire or the width of our entire continent, and then plus cross the second largest ocean.
Yeah,
and then to go to Japan, you just cross part of an ocean. Like, that's how big the Pacific Ocean is. Insane.
Yeah, it's just weird to me because because there are parts of America that make it easier to get to Europe. So you can get to Europe in 6 hours from America.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you can't get to what's it called?
Japan.
Japan in 6 hours from anywhere in America.
Definitely not.
I had
Yeah.
I had opened a Rotten Tomatoes all Marvel Cinematic Universe movies ranked from worst to best, and then as I was scrolling through it, I realized that it's just not. The list is so biased to like nostalgia rather than like good of movie. Like let
Oh,
me,
really?
yeah, it's not right. Let me read you one. Let me read you one through. One, Black Panther. Wrong. It's not. Two, Endgame.
Wait, oh, so this is going in order of worst to best. So one
No,
means
best
Black.
to worst.
Oh, there's. Oh, best to worst. Oh, so they're saying Black Panther's the best.
Yeah, wrong. It's not.
That's not true. That's absolutely not
It's,
true. I love Black Panther a lot. It's incredible. It's not the
it's
best.
probably Infinity War. It's probably the best one.
I would say so. I think Infinity War is probably the most well done MCU movie.
Yeah, Endgame 2. I could buy that.
Yeah,
Iron Man is not number 3.
absolutely not.
Nope. Like I'm just so
You
confused.
know who wrote
Oh
this
my god, dude.
article? Who wrote
Dude,
this
they have
article?
they have they have Infinity Wars 13.
What? That's not
Bro,
right.
ready? 3 Iron Man, 4 Thor Ragnarok. That's probably right.
That's
Um
debatable, but that I don't have a problem with that. Ragnarok is great.
5 Homecoming. No. 6 The Avengers 1. What? 7 Spider-Man Far From Home. 8 Civil War. 9 Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh
10
no.
Winter Soldier. Which is wrong. I rewatched Winter Soldier. It's top 5. It's so good.
It's so good. Civil War is also like should be higher than 9. Civil War should definitely be higher than Guardians of the Galaxy. Like even the Guardians of the Galaxy is great. I love them. I love them all. That's the thing. It's like none of them are bad except for the original, like the first Hulk, and then like Thor: Dark World is not great. But like that doesn't mean that they're like okay. Here's the thing. This is what this list says to me, and here's the first three. This is what it tells me. It tells me some dumb like millennial hipster is like, well, Black Panther's got to be the first one because it's the most culturally relevant and significant, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to seem racist by not putting it as number one. And then Endgame was like the most successful one, so it's got to be number two because I'm really saying that that's number one, but I don't want my black friends to get mad at me because I didn't say Black Panther was number one. And then Iron Man because it was the first one, and so
Yep,
because
exactly.
it's got to be up there. I'm just like you like I could, first of all, I could be totally wrong. You could be listening to my description of this person right now and be like, Kyle, you are a complete asshole and utterly and magnanimously incorrect. I don't think so, though. This person sounds like a fucking moron. Like, and it's sad. Like, I guarantee it was written by someone in LA that, like, some hipster works in, like, on, like mid Wilshire, and it's just like, oh, I'm going to rank the Marvel movies. Like, did you watch them? Did you even watch them, or did you just read reviews from other people's opinions of them and then formulate your list from that? Like this
Let
isn't
me
right.
continue because it's
Oh my.
gonna get more fun for you. Number number 11, Doctor Strange.
No.
Wait for it. Number 12, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then number 13, Infinity War.
So they're saying that Ant-Man and the Wasp is better than Infinity War.
Yes.
This is so stupid.
Then 14, Guardians 2. 15, Ant-Man. 16, Captain America 1. Iron Man 3 is 17, which is Iron Man 3 is way
It's way
better
better than
than
17.
Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then it's saying that Captain Marvel's 18.
No.
Thor 1. Thor 1 is 19. Then it says Avengers Age of Ultron is 20. which it wasn't great, but it's definitely better than most of those movies that I just
Well,
mentioned.
agreed. Well, because that's also where we get Vision, and like he's one of the most important characters, like carrying through into the Thanos timeline. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's just strange. And then my favorite one is 21 Iron Man 2, 22 Incredible Hulk, 23 Thor Dark World. I know Thor Dark World sucked, but it's better than Incredible Hulk, which we've watched and is unwatchable.
It's straight up unwatchable, for sure. It's the only Marvel movie that does not feel like a Marvel movie. Only one.
Yeah, well,
Because like even Dark World feels like a Marvel movie. I just didn't enjoy watching it that much. Like,
that's because Hulk is not Marvel Studios.
oh, that's right. That was before. Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That makes sense. But Iron Man was like Iron Man 1
Yeah.
was, and that's whenever it like I get it. I remember now. This person's a functional moron. There's no way that any of this is accurate. Like none whatsoever. Like except for maybe saying that Endgame is 2, but I would say Infinity War is 1 then if Endgame is 2 because Endgame was absolutely incredible. Was one of the most well-rounded movies I've ever seen just in general, not even taking just the MCU into account, but just movies in general. It was so well put together and executed as a story. It was really, and I understand that it has flaws. I get people can be like, well, like push their glasses up and be like, well, but did you remember this doesn't make whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. No movie is perfect, but except Fight Club, but I get it. Endgame is incredible. Like Endgame is unbelievable. So
The I agree 100%. Now I'm on Rotten Tomatoes, bro, and it's also trying to tell me that the new Lion King only is a 58.
what?
Yeah, I mean,
I
obviously,
think,
it just looks better than that for sure.
well, definitely. I don't know, man. The barometer is just it's just off lately, man. People are just missing. Like this, just maybe we're off.
Maybe it looks better
Who knows?
than that though. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it definitely
obviously go see
does.
it. I'm gonna love it.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna obviously not go see it. I'm not gonna subject myself to the trauma of watching Mufasa kill himself again to save his son. You kidding me?
Oh, I'm totally gonna do that. 150%.
Oh, sorry, and I misspoke. He doesn't kill himself to save his son. He is trying to save his son, and then Scar murders him. Sorry, I need to correct my memory of how that scene went down. It was so traumatic. I don't even remember what actually happened. Yeah, not happening. Not happening.
I I love it. I'm gonna totally make you come see it with me now.
Not gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm. That's what you say now.
I refuse to watch. You know, because it's going to be worse. Because when it's animated, at least you're like, oh, it's a cartoon. This isn't real. But computer generation is so accurate now, and I'm also a dad, so I'm going to watch the movie and be like, wow, this is real. Also, it could happen to me. No, thank you.
Ooh, someone's texting me. My phone's on the other side.
Oh,
Ooh, wow, I'm getting 2 right now.
oh,
It's exciting.
sit on the other side of the room and you can't go get it.
Oh my god. Someone's WhatsApping me
um,
right now.
oh, that's frustrating. Wait, do you not have like an international plan in Europe?
No, I do. It's just easier
Oh
to
yeah,
get
for sure.
photos.
Oh yeah, and if you're texting people that have international numbers, WhatsApp is easier because it just puts everything in like one hub. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, for some reason iMessage does not get photos as well. But I don't
Hmm.
know why that sounds on because my volume's off on my phone right now.
Oh, that's weird.
Very weird. Um, let's see what other. Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood already got rated at 92.
Oh,
Oh my god. Hold on.
so while you're looking some other stuff up, I will tell my other Japan story so far. I know there's another one too. Other stuff has happened. I just can't remember it. But I've been trying to not make a jackass out of myself as I've been over here, and for the most part, it's
Yeah,
been
that's really
going
hard for you
well.
to do because it's
It's
hard for you to not make a jackass of yourself in America.
That's true. It's easy to be an asshole in America because everyone's an asshole. Um, but for the most part, it's been going really well because everyone in this country is super accommodating and very nice. Uh,
For now.
so yeah, so yesterday after the whole lunch fiasco, I go back to the hotel. I to just regroup and be in some air conditioning because it's extremely humid here. Um, and I'm like, I have already looked up like what I want to do for the afternoon. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I went to this old, like 500-600 year old castle, and I was like amazed at like how beautiful this castle was. It's like a lot of it is still there. They've restored a bunch of it. Some of it's been preserved pretty well, and then they have like a bunch of like um, pretty well maintained artifacts that were dug up, on the site. Inside, they have some of like the thrones there, like a bunch of stuff is like there. It's really amazing to see. And I walked around like the castle grounds, like they have like gardens and like a whole like outdoor. It's like a park. It's called. I mean, they call it a park. They call it like Shiri Park, and it's in like kind of the center of Okinawa ish, and
That's cool.
like the castle walls just kind of like border the whole estate still, and the city is just like built around it, and it just like butts up against it. So like you go to the edge of the castle wall, like you climb up and like you look over and it's just a street, and there's just like a neighborhood across the street. And so it's not in like this remote like area, but it's cool that it's in the city. So the castle was amazing. I got some goodies for Amanda and Ellis while I was there. I took a bunch of photos. It was a pretty incredible experience, and it was cool getting to see a lot of the old culture of like just the island and everything. And anyway, so getting there, I go to the guest services counter. There's a woman that works there who speaks like somewhat decent English and can kind of like get through a conversation enough to like help you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, I want to go to the castle. Like, how do I like? Can I just hail a cab, or do you call them, or like because like rideshare is not like a thing here, and so
Yeah, it's not here either, and it's really annoying.
yeah, it's tough. It makes it hard. But the part of town that we're staying in is not that big, so it's not really that big of a deal. So she's like, oh yeah, she's super helpful. She gets a cab for me, like at the hotel, and then she like writes down a phone number to the taxi company, and it's like when you're done, because she excuse me, she was like, you don't want to have a cab like wait for you there, right? Because like you don't know how long you're gonna be there, and that's gonna be expensive. And I was like, correct. So I would just like to have like call a cab when I'm done. So she's like, perfect. She writes down a phone number to the cab company, and then she gives it to me. She was like, ask for an English operator whenever you call, and then just tell them where you are, and they'll bring you back to the hotel. Then it'll be like $20. And I was like, this is awesome. So I get in the cab there. I go there. I get out. I do have my whole experience there. I was there for like a few hours. And then, I did like a tea ceremony there too. And I had some like traditional, like Okinawan, like cookies and like pastries with like the jasmine tea that they have on the
Oh
island.
wow! Look at you,
It was
going crazy.
it was unreal. It was unbelievable. Anyway, so I'm ready to go. I walk kind of like hike back down to the base, and I get out the phone number, and I'm like, cool, cab time. I call it, and then I get this error being like, oh, you have to dial out of the United States first. Here's the code to dial out of the United States. And I was like, oh, okay, fair. So I redial the number with the exit code for our country to get out. I get another error thing saying like, oh, well, now you have to dial the country code of the country you're calling next. And I was like, oh, all right, that makes sense. So I hang up, I redial the number again with the exit code from the States and the entry code to Japan, and then this local phone number. So I call again, and I get another error message being like, oh, the 0 at the beginning of the area code for this country, like you don't have to have that on this device. Like you don't have to dial it. So then that's equivalent to like our +1 in the States when we're dialing a phone number. Like you know how you don't have to dial +1. That's like the way the 0 is on the area code for Okinawa. Apparently for my phone or whatever, they were like, you don't have to dial the 0. because you dialed the country code. So like the local area code's enough. I was like, cool. So like for the fourth time now, I redialed this phone number with all these amendments, and I'm like, is this okay? Do I finally have it right? And I finally don't get an error message, but the line's busy. So I'm like, okay, other people are calling in. That's fine. So I wait like a minute, and then I call back and it's busy again. And so I was like, okay, why is it busy? I wait another minute. I call back again, and then I get another message saying that the line is disconnected and it's
Stop.
not an active phone number.
Stop.
So after all that, I was like, it's not even that. What? Which I'm convinced I was still doing something wrong. Like, there's no way that woman who does this for a living every day wrote down the wrong phone number. It's way more likely that I still managed to do some part of that process wrong than it was for her to have written down a wrong phone number. So again,
I
it's
love how
like,
self-deprecating you are on this.
oh yeah, well, it's just the truth. Like, I stayed in a pretty good mood the whole time and was confident that I'd be able to figure it out. But it's way more likely that I still fucked it up than she wrote down the wrong number. When this is what she does for a living. So I immediately am like, all right, well, can I just hail a cab? Like, surely that's a thing. So surely it's a thing. So, and it is, because I end up getting a cab later at the end of the story. But we'll get there. But so
Spoiler
for
alert.
now, spoiler alert. So I end up getting a cab later at the end of the story, which we'll get to. But so at this point, I'm like, okay, the phone number thing, calling this cab company, or anyone for that matter, clearly is not going to work while I'm here. So I'm just going to try and hail a cab. So a cab is like comes around the corner within like 60 seconds. It comes right around. I was like, oh, cool. I like try to flag him down, and he slows down, but he doesn't stop. And he holds his hand up to his head with like the phone, like the telephone signal to it, like he's on a call. And like he held up his hand. And what I now found out through, obviously I hailed a cab later. What I found out is that he was just saying like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm on a call right now. I'm going to pick someone up. So you have to like hail another cab. But what I thought he was saying was, you have to call to get a cab. We can't just stop. And so I was like, fuck this. I can't cabs are out then. Not an option. No longer possible for me at this point. So I open maps and I'm like, what's the public transportation look like? I'll just take the bus. I'm only like 5 miles from the hotel.
You're alone right now.
Yeah, I'm alone. Like, no, Starley and Hannah are at the beach. They've been at the beach like all day. So I'm just by myself. And so I pull up the maps and I'm like, oh, excuse me. So I open my phone. I'm like, well, I'm only like 5 miles from the hotel. I'm just going to take the bus then, like public transportation or whatever. So I pull up like a transit map, and they're like, it's like there's a bus station or like a bus stop like a block away from where you are right now. And the bus that's going to be there next is the one you need to get on. It'll take you back to the area where your hotel is. You can get off and you can just walk like a quarter of a mile to your hotel. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. So I do that. I go to this bus stop. Bus is already there. And I run up to it. I get on. I pay the fare. I sit down. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I feel really good about this. This is cheaper than a cab anyway. It's cool. I get to ride the bus through Okinawa. It's cool. So about 10 minutes into the ride, maybe 15 minutes into the ride. Yeah, that would have been way cool. I would have led with that, first of all, if that would have happened. Just know, if Godzilla is ever anywhere, I'm going to lead with that as soon as we start talking. So I get on the bus about 10, 15 minutes into the ride. I'm like, okay, we should be about like halfway there, maybe a little over halfway there. It's not that far. I pull up my phone to see where we are on the map, and I am about, I don't know, 2 miles in the opposite direction, going the wrong way. So
You got on the wrong bus.
I guess, evidentially, I got on the wrong bus. So I hold the map up, like the translated map with the hotel as the destination, up to the driver. I wait till we get to a stop, and I like tap my little shoulder because I'm sitting in the very front. I was like, excuse me, like, does this, I'm like trying to gesture, and I'm like, am I on the right bus to go here? And according to his body language and how he gestured and how I interpreted it, because he was very nice, like how I received his body language was like, yeah, because he was doing like a bunch of circular motions with his hands. It was like gesturing to like stay and like to like just stay on the bus and like I'd be fine. And so basically, what I picked up from him through nonverbal communication was the bus is just on its route. We'll loop back around and then eventually it'll head back there. And so I was like, okay, well, I just need to sit tight then. It'll take a little longer than I thought. Not a problem. It was like $1. So I don't care. So I sit on the bus. And so at this point, I'm like putting all my faith in this plan and I'm just completely zoned out. I'm just on my phone, which is a huge mistake because over the course of like the next 15 minutes, as I'm on my phone, not paying attention, he makes all his other stops. Everyone gets off the bus. And then also somehow, without me realizing it, turns the lights on the bus off and backs into a parking space at the bus station next to
You're
other
lying.
buses. No,
You're lying.
he finished his route and backed into his spot at the bus station and got up and filled out his logbook. And then I looked up and was like, were we here? And he was like, well, I am. Like he just kind of gave me this look like, was this where you wanted to go? And then he kind of gestured. He was like, here, like go inside. There's like benches. I walked by and there's like a lobby and there's like people, like other people were waiting. Apparently you can like look like people like wait for buses there too and stuff like that. And so I finished his route with him and went back to work with him and then just watched him be done with his workday. And then he left and I got off the bus and that was the end of that journey. I'm now like miles farther away from where I needed to be. It's getting overcast now. It's evening. It's about to start raining. And I'm like, still convinced that like I'm just not going to be able to get a cab. And so now, and I'm like, well, rideshare is not a thing. You can't like rent like scooters or like bicycles. And if you can, there's clearly not anything around me that I see that is like identifying itself as like being able to do that. So now I'm just standing in a bus like parking lot, like a bus station parking lot. And so I walk out to the street and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm getting a cab. Whatever it takes. I'm going to walk out in front of one in the street. And I'm just going to hold cash up, which I now have from the girl at the restaurant and the other story. I'm going to use this cash and I'm going to bribe a cabbie to just stop and drive me to the hotel, which now is like 40 minutes away. So I'm standing on the street for maybe 2 minutes and a cab drives by and I'm like, all right, it's showtime. So at first, like he's far enough away to where like I'm still standing on the curb and I just like kind of raise my arm. I'm like, maybe the arm thing will just work. And it totally does. He instantly just beelines it to me and opens the door and like I get in and and that's whenever I realized that the first cab driver was for sure just saying like, hey, I'm on a call, I'm sorry, instead of you have to call, we can't stop. That's obviously not what he was saying. Cab drivers will stop for anyone. So I get in the car, I show him the phone with the address on it, and he's like, cool, got it, give each other thumbs up, and then I sit in the back of his car for 40 minutes silently and just look out the window. And I'm like, I'm not taking my eyes off of the map in my hand with like updating my location and like the scenery outside. Like I am going to monitor this trip the entire way. And he drove me straight like right up to the front door of the hotel. It was perfect. So
That's amazing. I love these Kyle Parent escapades.
well, because they never go well.
I just don't have things like this happen to me while I'm on tour.
That's funny.
I wish they did. That sounds like an amazing adventure.
It was funny. I didn't get upset like at any point during the process. The whole time I was just like, man, I need to pay better attention. That was really moral of the story. Just like, I just need to pay better attention.
Were
and
you
just
on
like,
with Amanda at all?
No, she had already.
Does she know about this one?
Oh yeah, I was texting her real time updates because she had already gone to sleep. So she was already in bed and had been in bed for a while, and so I'm just out in the city now. And as all of this is happening, like from the beginning of the story to the time I got back to the hotel, at every point I'm texting her all of this story that I just told you. And so
she probably woke up crying.
No, she woke up and only thing that she said, and I probably sent her 40 text messages. They were all at least like a short paragraph detailing this entire story and just chronicling how all of it I was handling the wrong way. And literally the only thing she said whenever she woke up, she just texted, she goes, "Wow, you've had a busy day." And that was it. She didn't say anything else, which to me was like, you are an idiot. Wow.
Well played.
No,
Well played.
we talked about it on the phone whenever she got up, and she thought it was really funny. And I thought it was really funny too. Even at the time, I thought it was funny. I just was like, how do I keep being this wrong? Like, I know that I need to pay better attention, but also like like maps said to go, like the transit map said, like, go to this station, get on this bus. And that just was not the case. Maybe I should have waited for a different bus. But even if I would have, how am I going to read where that bus says that it's going? I don't read Japanese. So again, probably would have ended up in the same situation either way. So that was day 2. Yeah.
Well, did you know, just transitioning back to movies for a second, that
Yes,
that there's
let's do it.
that there's a Zombieland 2 coming out?
What?
Yeah, Zombieland Double Tap comes out this October.
With the original cast, like Woody Harrelson, Jesse
Oh, yeah.
Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and the other little girl. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, it's
Dude.
Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg, and Woody Harrelson, and then there's a new girl.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that amazing?
Amazing. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that I saw that's coming out. Then there's a new Addams Family coming out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Then there's a new Maleficent coming out with Angelina Jolie.
Oh, that'll probably do well.
What else was there? And there's a few others that I didn't know about. Oh, Downtown Abbey, the TV show, is now a movie.
Oh, Downton Abbey.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, those were the big ones that I was like, oh wow.
Interesting.
Did not know those things were coming.
No, I'm really excited about Zombieland 2. And given all the movies you just listed, that tells everyone listening exactly the type of person I am, that's the one that I'm like gravitating towards.
I mean, it's definitely the one that I gravitate towards as well.
Definitely.
It's gonna be.
Oh, I didn't watch.
That one's gonna be amazing.
I didn't watch Downton Abbey the show. I would rather watch Paint Dry.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
It's not for me.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's not good. It's just not for me. So,
what time is it there?
it is 1:30 p.m.
Oh wow, you're so lucky.
On Friday, July 12th.
Yeah, it's 6:30 a.m. on Friday, July 12th.
Man.
Yeah, we started recording at 5 something a.m.
That's crazy. I woke up at like 5 this morning.
Oh, jet lag?
No, I was fine. I went to bed at like 10:30 last night. I woke up at 5 because that was all the sleep my body needed. I read for a little bit. I went and ate breakfast, went to the gym, got some work done, mixed an episode, uploaded it. Like, I just woke up at 5.
Wow, you're a killer.
Yeah.
Check out the. I just sent you some art from a new comic that we're making. I can't say which one, but tell me what you think of it.
Oh, that's dope. That's really cool. It's very like Guardians of the Galaxy-ish.
Yeah, it's definitely the vibe, 100%.
Yeah, I dig that. That's really cool.
We sent it over to the band. So, yeah, we're waiting to see if the band's into it. Hopefully they are. But
yeah.
Yeah, each of those are band members as aliens.
That's awesome. Wait, have we talked about this off air? Do I know who this was for?
I think so. I'll tell you off air.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure because I think I'm going to be mixing part of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That looks super cool.
Yeah, I'm super hyped on it. But yeah, trying to think what other things you want to talk about quickly before I have to run and get ready to jump on this plane.
Yeah.
What
I don't know.
do you have any pyrotechnics for your shows?
None were advanced for this one.
Mm.
So no. It'll be fun though. I'm really excited. It'll be a good set. We got sound check. Got sound check this evening and like 6 hours or something.
And when's the show?
Tomorrow night. So
Oh,
sound check's the day before at the set time, and then the show's tomorrow night. So
oh, super dope.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? I don't know. I think I was gonna make a joke about how you don't have any pyrotechnics, but you're a firecracker. But now I can't remember because it's really early.
Well, either way, I believe that it would have been just as lame, if not lamer, than the example joke that you just provided.
Definitely lamer. Definitely lamer. But like that was really lame as it was.
Yeah, as is. Didn't need any help. That's really funny. That's okay. I make lame jokes like that all the time. Usually on this show.
But yeah, let's wrap up so we can download and make sure it's all good, and I can get ready to say hi to everybody.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, thanks for listening to my Japan stories.
Japanese stories.
Yes, and our speculation of new movies coming up, and just again the atrociously misguided and outright abhorrent order of the ranking of the MCU movies. So
it was obviously done by a reptilian.
Yeah, no, if that was the case, 1 through 17 would have been like the Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. Like that would have been the order. That'd have been like, he's a green monster, it's close enough. Yeah, that definitely would have been it.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. All right, well, everyone, have a good rest of whatever day or night it is that you are listening to this. Thanks for sticking with us so far for all these episodes. Got a lot more to come, more fun guests, more fun segments, some cool things.
Promotion. We got some really cool.
Yeah.
We have some really cool brands coming out.
Yes, we've got some cool companies we're partnering with, some cool sponsors that are about to come on. We're about to start doing some more ads with some promo codes for everybody. So stay tuned and definitely don't fast forward through them because we are trying really hard to make sure that they're relevant to our listeners and make sure that there's stuff that you guys are going to like and want to use. So we're not just whoring ourselves out for dollars just for companies. We're actually trying to go after partnerships with companies that with products that we use ourselves, that we believe in and have relationships with, so that we can bring discounts to you guys and give you products and services that are actually useful, that we like and that we hope you like. And so don't fast forward through those. Definitely
Amen
stay tuned.
to that.
Yeah, stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next episode.
Love you guys.
All right, bye.